Hello, and welcome to the second episode of the ERC podcast, where we help small to medium sized businesses save on improving their top line, getting more sales, and also being more efficient, improving their bottom line. Today, we are honored to have David Pascaru here. David is the founder, producer of Purely Imagined. He comes from a background with video and visual arts, but came into the digital marketing space over the last few years. He'll give us more info on that soon. David, welcome aboard.
Hey Joe, thank you. Yes, excited to talk.
Excellent. So, David, as the first question here is the journey from visual and video producing to SEO or digital marketing is not uncommon, but we do want to learn a little bit about how you got there.
Yeah, so for the first maybe like 7 or 8 years of our business, we were primarily a video production company. We were doing a lot of videos for businesses and events and stuff like that. But as I was talking to more small businesses, I was realizing that, you don't really need a video, or a video is not going to solve your problem. You need a marketing strategy. You need a website, or a better built website. And I was sort of sending them away, go get a website, go figure out your marketing, and then come back and we'll make you a video. But over time, I started realizing, why am I doing that? We could help provide these services. We did our own website, we do our own marketing, and we have tons of inbound leads coming in through our website and SEO and Google strategy. So I figured, let's sell these services and try to help people directly, especially if they are already talking to us. So that's sort of how we made the transition from doing primarily video work to doing more websites and digital marketing, just realizing that a lot of people think that maybe a video or a photo shoot or a graphic design is going to help, but really you need to get down to the bare bones of it, and you need to start with your website and your marketing strategy, and how you present yourself online. So that's sort of how we built the website and digital marketing part of our business. We still do video work. We're working on a few video projects now, but primarily we're focusing on getting websites up for small businesses that are properly optimized so they show up online and can get found online when people are searching for their services.
Yeah, no, that's helpful because you could have the best video, the best commercial testimonials, whatever the production is, but if you don't get eyeballs on the video, then it's not very effective.
Right. And I felt like we were sort of, I would make this great video for a company and then they would never use it, or it would just sit there, and maybe they were like, "Oh, why did we spend all this money on a video? It's not getting us anything." And I realized, like, well, actually it's like, it's your website is why your video is not getting seen, or you don't have a social media, so what are you even doing with the website? I mean, sorry, with the video. And so that's sort of how we started trying to help on the marketing side.
Yeah, I feel there's two trends that came together. One, from physical storefront to digital storefront. I mean, your website's your digital storefront, whether you're a plumber or loan officer or expense reduction, whatever. This the website's what people come to when they first want to learn more about you. And the second, I think you may have seen over the last 10 years, maybe attention span on eyeballs is shortening. Like maybe there was more appetite for a 2, 3 minute video explaining what a business does. Whereas now we're getting into the YouTube Reels or the Shorts, or closer, smaller snippets. And I don't know if your business is getting more into that, or like you balance both durations on content.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I always ask who the audience is that we're trying to talk to. If you're trying to find people that have never heard of you before, you definitely need something short and quick and snappy, whether that's a video or even same thing with your website. It's got to give the information clearly in the first couple seconds. But if someone is on your website or is talking to you and they already know you, or they're already interested in your service or your product or whatever it is, then I still believe there is room for longer form videos or more details, because if someone's already interested, they're going to take the time to learn more, rather than someone who's just scrolling. They need something like quick and grabby.
Yep. No, that's really helpful. I think the next part I want to get into is maybe how SEO is impacting folks, and now there's this new term, generative engine optimization (GEO). So yes, there's the website that you go to, and that can come from ads, but there's Google, ChatGPT, and other AI agents. So how do you think of your strategies for trying to get found organically or by search, whether Google or Gemini or the equivalent? And then also through other means, like how do you walk one of your clients through that?
Yeah, I mean, SEO, like at its foundation, is making sure that whatever the search engine is that is doing the search fully understands what your company does and believes that you are an authority in that subject. And you do that basically with the words and the formatting on your website. So, if you're a plumber that services, Northern Bergen County only, it's really important that the top titles and the proper formatting says I'm a plumber and I service Northern Bergen County, even listing the towns that you service. We create pages for specific towns on websites so that if someone is searching for, we can use plumber again as an example. Someone's looking for plumber near me or leaky faucet near me, and Google or ChatGPT knows that person lives in Ramsey, then if you have words on your website that talk about leaky faucets or plumbing in Ramsey over and over again, the internet will put it together that, oh, this website probably knows how to fix a leaky faucet in Ramsey. I'll show it, this will be the result in the search. And with ChatGPT or with Google, I believe that it's still the core of SEO that's important because what's ChatGPT doing? It's really just reading the internet very fast and grabbing information. It does lean heavier on reviews from and testimonials. So that's really important these days is to make sure that you have a lot of Google reviews or you have reviews on your website. And the more specific someone can get in their review, like this guy came to me. I live in Emerson, New Jersey, and he helped fix my bathroom toilet. Then, if you have, it's hard to tell people what to say in a review, but the more specific they are, then when ChatGPT is reading for, okay, broken toilets in Emerson, who can fix this? If those words are on your website or on your Google review, on your Yelp, on your Facebook, whatever it is, the chances that you get recommended are a lot higher. I always say that what we do is we increase the chances you're going to get, you're going to rank higher, get found, because there's no guarantees that you're going to rank higher or get found. There's tons of deal breakers and little nuances that Google uses to decide who is going to rank number three, like this website or this website. And it really comes down to like a bunch of little details. So, we can just increase the chances that you're going to show up higher online, whether that's in ChatGPT's three recommendations or on Google search engines, top reviews or in the AI overviews or stuff like that.
Yeah. For some practical tips for those listening, is there? I think I've heard this in the past. If a business uses a legal entity name and a doing business as, and there's a mismatch on what the title of the website is versus where it is somewhere, like if it's a general cleaning company, but in somewhere in the website say general cleaners company, does that like deduct a point or something?
Right. That's like the tiebreakers that I was like talking about, where that's not a huge deal, but being as consistent as possible is the most important thing. It's called NAP, name, address, phone number. So just making sure that your name, your address, and your phone number is the same across all platforms. So, like Yelp, Google, Nextdoor, Angie's, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, making sure that's all the same is super important because again, like that's a deal breaker if it's between you and another company for the top ranking position and some of your stuff says you are based in Oradell and some of your stuff and some of your other stuff says you're based in Westwood, you're kind of not being consistent, you're being a little confusing to the internet. So, you're not going to get wiped off the internet, but you might be a lower result than someone consistent. So, it's definitely important to stay consistent across all the all the platforms where you list your business, even on your own website. That's a big thing too, is you'll see an email on the homepage that's maybe, admin at whatever.com, but then in the contact form, it says, Steve at whatever.com. And it's like, well, wait, which email is the correct email that I have to send this to? You can confuse the internet. Same thing with your phone number. If you have a business number on the contact and a different number on the home screen, how do I know which number to show as a search result?
Okay, that's really helpful. And again, if people have questions or want a second look, we've got David here.
Yeah,
Um,
I can look at people's stuff, take a look. I can look through the website, like do quick searches on the internet, see how they're presenting themselves, and then come up with easy tips. You don't always have to hire someone to do those things for you. It's just as easy as, maybe you just watch a YouTube video how to set up a Google business profile and you just do it yourself. It's really easy.
yeah, and let's transition there about the do-it-yourself. So as we know, the last 5, 6 years have all been consumed with the rise of AI. So before ChatGPT, small businesses needed to lean on someone to produce the content to be able to maybe check how we're doing. I don't know if today now there's AI apps who give you an SEO report on how you're ranking on different sites, but how has that impacted or you've seen your business on people saying, oh, I can create my own flyers or make these nano banana videos that it's made by AI, but it's better than nothing, or maybe it's not better because now people know it's AI.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's always going to be people who want to do it themselves, and whether that's using now AI or whatever the other options were in the past. I'm always going to run to those people, like why would I hire you to make a website when I can have whatever system build it for me in 2 seconds? It's like you totally can do that, and a lot of people are going to do that, especially if they're starting out. It's probably a good move, if you don't have any money, save money and have something like you said, better than nothing. Save yourself a headache than having to figure it out yourself. It's just important to like make sure you're asking the AI robots to make sure it's I'm sorry, SEO optimized, make sure that it's putting in the right SEO things. And obviously you could ask ChatGPT what's a properly optimized website and it'll tell you, and then you can take that information and put it on your website. That totally works. I think if you're a small business or a young person just getting started who's tech savvy, can definitely handle it. I mean, you don't have to be a young person, anyone can be tech savvy. We run into a handful of clients who just like, I'm not tech savvy. Like, a woman we're working with now is a fitness instructor. She's a young woman. She works with a lot of clients, but she has no idea. She doesn't care about the internet, doesn't really use it. She says, I'm not tech savvy. So someone like her, even though it can take 10 seconds to make a website using AI, she's not going to do it. And she doesn't know even how to start. So, we can help her now because of AI. It's easier for us to make websites. We can give her a better deal. Like, here's a quick little one-page website, get you up and running. It's profitable for us and it helps her out. And then in the future, if you grow or you want to add more complicated stuff to your website, we can always add on to your site. And then same idea. We have clients who are very busy. One of our clients, he runs a big mold remediation, water remediation company, and he's got whatever. He's got 10 employees, he's got 5 trucks, he's busy, he's on calls, he's doing quotes and estimates. He's a tech savvy guy, but at the end of the day, he's not going to sit down with an AI bot and make a website. He's got plenty of other stuff to do. He wants to be with his family, all that stuff. So he hires us to make his website. He's fully aware we're using AI to add pages to his website and come up with information and ideas, but he doesn't care. He just wants the work to get done. That guy's never gonna just be like, "Oh, Dave, you know what? I can use ChatGPT to make my blogs." It's like, well, you can, but you're a busy guy.
At what cost? Because that comes to the opportunity cost of these small medium sized businesses. They I wonder if how you work or you've seen in the space bringing back and tying results. So if you bring back reports or bring back clicks per view or tie it back to businesses brought in, you could easily go to a client and be like, yeah, our engagement was X dollars, but it's brought you Y business over the last two
Right.
months. So it pays itself off. Is that something that that is common that you present?
Yeah, I mean, with our so the way we work with people, I always like to say it's like two phases. Like phase one is we build your website properly optimized. Um, it it's we'll set up your site for you, make sure it's properly optimized, and then that could be it. We could be done working together. You have your site, you paid us our fee, it's running, that's all good. And then phase two, I like to say it's the ongoing marketing. That's when we're doing updates to your website, adding pages, making changes, making blogs, paying attention to how you're ranking, your keywords, and then you know, building a strategy based off of that. And for those clients on the phase two, we provide a SEO report every month. Here are the keywords you ranked for. Here's your standing in those keywords. Here are new keywords you weren't ranking for last month, and now you are ranking for them. And then we have conversations with them, you know, frozen pipes and Lodi. You weren't ranking last month, but this month you are, but you're like number 15 on the list. Is that something you want us to work on? And if they say yes, then we'll add more specific words and pages about frozen pipes in the Lodi area. And then hopefully in the next month or two, that ranking goes from 15 to 7 to 5 to 3, up and down. And so yeah, we provide a report that kind of talks about what we did, what we want to do, and what we're noticing, how your website is acting right now, and then we can make changes based off of that. And same thing that goes into like ChatGPT and AI. We see when people came to you from AI or came to you from ChatGPT. I think the best way is always to ask a new lead, like, how did you hear about us? Like right away, like, oh, thank you for calling. Sure, we'd love to come down and give you an estimate. Just quick question, how did you hear about us? And that'll obviously answer a lot of questions. It was, oh, I found you on Google. I saw a Facebook post, ChatGPT. A friend told me I saw your truck on the road. All of those things work to figure out where you're getting clients from and what do we need to do to if you only ever get clients because people see your truck and you want to get more clients on Facebook, and we know that that's not happening, let's make a plan to get found more on Facebook.
Yeah. No, I love the idea of asking like, "Hey, how'd you hear us?"
Like the most
Because
simple
it,
thing, but yeah,
there's two things. One, it's hard to track. I mean, I know there's like cost per clicks that occur every so often. Wife and kiddo. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
here you go.
I'm gonna bring him in a little closer in a minute,
Sure.
but we have the yeah, we want to know how we're performing because we have the cost per clicks that come in from SEO, but sometimes the clients need multiple touches. So they had seen you on Facebook, they had thought about you, they had checked out your reviews on Google Maps, they
Right,
had saw you, and yeah, okay, fine, I'll give Dave a
right,
call, or I'll
exactly.
give my plumber a call.
Right. And
So
people, sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
no, please.
No, no, I would say people often ask us, can we come up with some sort of plan where I pay you on the leads we get that are from you specifically? And I always turn those people down because of everything you just mentioned. The way everything's so interconnected these days, it's virtually impossible to know that, oh, you came here because of that. Sometimes we see it because we'll be like, oh, look, you got a hit on your website and they filled out a contact form. That hit came from a page we put up last month on Google. Like, that hit came from Google. They landed on a specific page that we put up last month. But even that doesn't mean it was us, that they could have seen the page on Google, clicked it, read it, maybe they hopped over to your Facebook, checked out your Google reviews, whatever, and then went back to your site and filled out a contact form. So it's really hard to track those. Like you said, that's a point that I always make. It's important to be versatile across the internet these days because I think it's sort of an old school mentality of, oh, well, I saw your name on a truck and I called you. Or, hey, neighbor, who do you use to cut down your trees? Even if my neighbor was like, oh, I use this tree company, I'm probably gonna just still search them on Google before I even call them. Even if I trust my neighbor, I even saw them doing work, I'm probably still gonna look them up on Google. And if you don't have that Google presence, then yeah, maybe you'll still get the call, but you might also not get the call. Same with
Yeah,
the truck, right? Like you see a truck driving down the road, like, hey, can you come fix my house? Like, is that really gonna happen? Or are they gonna remember the name, Google search it, go to their website, look around, and then call?
Yeah. Yeah, which now we're breaking the another like the other paradigm of marketing. My son is in the background here.
Yeah, at least he's not crying.
That's great. He's just paying attention to us.
Good.
So we got the, you mentioned the truck. We mentioned the truck. We mentioned like billboard signs. Those are in the physical world. I'm driving on the interstate and then I see a billboard. There's also the personal networking. So we network together. We go to Chamber of Commerce events together. So that could be kind of like the closing punch or due diligence that people do after they meet you. So again, it complements to the entire strategy. Um, when you work with clients, do you ever touch that point on the physical world? Do you have like people that you say like, hey, maybe some print will help you? We don't do that, but we could help you
Right.
find someone who could help.
Yeah, I mean, we have like we've designed flyers for people and brochures and business cards and stuff like that for them. I'm always trying to help our clients because we're a small business. It's just me and my business partner, and every client we get is super important to us. I want them to be happy. I want them to continue to work with us, to refer us. So we always go above and beyond. Where just yesterday I'd message a client we finished a website for. And I was like, hey, I think you should join this Facebook group because it's very specific to your industry and they just made a post about any events coming up. And I know you have an event coming up. You should post in here. And she was, oh yeah, great, Dave, thanks. I'm always help. I think networking is the most important thing you could do is getting out and talking to people. And so I'm always telling our clients, if someone's telling me we're struggling with getting client with leads, or I don't really, it's all word of mouth, or I haven't really got anything this month. Like, well, come to this event with me. Here's a networking event. Here's a Bergen County Chamber event. Here's a Ridgewood Chamber event. Just go. And people have 100 reasons why they can't go. But if you make it a point to actually get out and talk to people and meet people, you'll never know. We've gotten our biggest clients from I was at a random event about to leave 8 o'clock at night. Let me go talk to that woman real quick. And then turns out, oh, you work for this huge company and you're in the marketing department and you need videos? Okay, like here's my card. I almost
Yeah,
walked away from that. And you never know. It's like a numbers game. I've gone to 100 networking events where I don't get anything, and then you go to a couple where you get the best jobs.
I have one more question. I'm gonna also bring my
No, go no,
assistant
go get
here.
him. It's fine. You can get him.
So let me bring
Yeah, yeah,
Ezra
it's all
here.
good. It's all good.
No, he's super attentive.
Yeah, he's good.
Um,
He's one of the
so so my question on
bounce him with
where
your
this
foot.
where this is landing. What's that?
I said just bounce him with your foot as you're talking.
Yeah, yeah. You've been there.
Yeah,
We've all been there.
yeah, that's okay.
Um, I think with the serendipity of meeting in person, it helps. Yeah, the online presence again is like your digital footprint, your physical storefront. Um, I love like the inviting them to events. Also asking for reviews always with clients is super helpful. Is there any other tips or tricks that you kind of share with the client? And it's always like, how much do you share to help them out versus like, hey, I would like to work with you to get it done, right?
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, I at this point, I'm like I don't like gatekeep anything. Like I don't really care. Like I'll tell you what to do for your blogs. Just go do it. Like whatever. If you're not gonna hire me, you figure it out yourself. Maybe you'll call me in 3 months because you thought you were gonna do it and you never did it. That's a big thing is we'll have people be like, oh well, we're gonna take care of this. I'm like, all right. And I'll like jot their name down and I'll check on them in 3 months or 6 months. I'm like, did you ever do it? I'm like, no, we didn't. Like, okay, like now it's time to talk, right? So I'm more than happy to share whatever information to help. But yeah, I mean, I think networking is important. A big thing too is like if you join Chamber of Commerce or different networking events, it's called backlink. You get your website on other people's websites, which is very valuable to search engines. So I was like, just join Chamber of Commerce. They're usually not a lot of money, and they usually put your website on their website, which is it's basically telling the internet, here's a company that exists that trusts my company enough to put my website on their website. That
And they've made the investment. They said, "Hey, I'll join the commerce, Chamber of Commerce. It's $500 a year, $1,000 a year,
right.
whatever it may be." And that thing is my closing point. It's sometimes as a small business owner, protecting the bottom line, you want to be efficient. You want to make sure that the every dollar you put in, you get $2 out. So yes, there is organic, there is word of mouth, there's referrals, But then sometimes you pay for paid online advertising, and sometimes these networking events or groups cost money. But if you're putting the money, putting the time, you're going to see that tenfold, a hundredfold, right?
Yeah, you just have to keep doing it. I mean, I've spent, you know, a lot of money on networking events where I've gotten nothing, but then you get the one, like I said, and then like, oh wow, that paid for every networking event for the last 3 years. So like that was worth it, you know? But yeah, just showing up as much as possible online and in person, I think is very valuable these days, and just making sure it's all consistent and on the up and up and looks good. I know when I bought a house, I was looking for services, and I would sort of judge their website, or if they didn't even have a website, I'd be like, this website looks well put together. I'm sure this guy knows what he's doing. I'm sure this company has some authority, so I'll call them over the one that was like, well, this site's not even working properly.
Yeah. Yeah. And I also know some business owners who don't even have a website. They're just
Right.
purely word of mouth and they exceed.
I,
But they
yeah, no,
that's another
I
story.
think that that's okay too. I mean, I've now learned like I don't think everyone needs a website. I think you should have one, but if you're doing just fine without one and you really believe you don't need one, then like I'm not going to try to convince you to get one. Um, I definitely think there's a lot of value behind it, but like a friend of mine owns a restaurant and he doesn't have a website, and his mentality is like, I'm busy. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 7 days a week. We sell out. We make a ton of money every weekend. Um, I'm good. And I'm like, all right, yeah, no, I
Yeah.
get it. Like, why do it? I mean, would it be a big deal for him to build one? Is he
He may
losing?
not even want the business. They're
Right.
happy or they're happy with where they're at. So that's a good
you know,
point of reference to
I try
have.
not to convince people, but like
Mm.
I try to show them the value of like, well, maybe you don't need a website because you're busy, but do you want more catering orders? You do? How do people even know that you do catering? They have to come into the store and ask you for a catering menu. Maybe you want to show up when someone's searching for catering in your area. Maybe you
Yeah.
don't. I don't, like, so then
Yeah, it
don't.
depends what they want to focus on, and maybe they switch. Businesses,
Right. Yeah.
switch where they want to focus. And um yeah, I think now could be a good time to tell people how to find you.
Sure.
Again, are you project based only? Are you consulting as well? Are you,
Um,
which social medias can they find you?
Yeah, I mean, we do a lot. Mostly, it's project based. We goes ongoing marketing sometimes. Like I said, phase one and phase two on the website stuff. People can reach out, and I've given people tips and then said, go do it yourself. Like you shouldn't hire me. Just go do it. You don't. My
No,
device.
you're okay. You're okay. You're almost there.
Yeah. But you can go to our website. It's purelyimagine.com. We have a Facebook page, Instagram, stuff like that. I make a lot of videos, tips, and ideas that I post on Facebook. That's really it. I mean, our website is probably where you get the best information. And give me a call, Facebook message me, or email me and book a meeting, whatever. And happy to just talk and take a look at what you have going on. And if I don't think we can help, I can point you in the right direction, refer you to someone, or just kind of give you an idea on how to get started yourself. And
Yeah.
then, that's all.
Excellent. Thank you, David, for the time.
Okay, for sure. Yeah. It's good talking.